They just break it down on a camel's back. They just have to go cause they don't know where. So all your favorite streets is a penny to see. You won't get undercounted cause you're damn free.
Okay, I wonder if I look as hot as I actually am. It's 80 degrees and I'm wearing a hoodie because if you know, you know. My braids are coming apart, but I'm gonna milk them for all they're worth. Today is just supposed to be a quick video. I say that like literally all the time, but like it's not gonna take me that long to do this. I'm just trying to put some content out there because I hate how long it takes me to post in between videos. I always thought that you could tell a lot about a person from what they put in their notes app. I actually think that my notes list is pretty diverse. Like, long story short, I think you could tell a lot about me by what I put in my notes app. Probably be putting some screenshots in, all that, so we can look at this together. If I were to say this would be raw and uncut, I'd probably be lying because you can't see everything, but you can see most things. Okay, well, with that being said, let's hop into it. So, looking at my folders, you can see that I organize like, you know, kind of sort of. I'm actually gonna start with what I have the least of, which is the one with the little pen emoji. And I write anything and everything, but like people know I write poetry and like I'll journal and whatnot, but I'm super into this like storyline that I have going. Like, it's like an ongoing thing. It's a story that I've been developing since I was like super little, like elementary school. I never really shared it with anyone because it was just kind of like my thing. I'm not good at just sitting down and like writing stories, but instead I'll write what I think would be a quote from like the middle of the book I would write. So, I mean, I haven't written a lot here, as you can see, like I only wrote 2. I do want to get like back into writing more often. Okay, anyways, I know you can see I have a folder for YouTube that's like all my YouTube ideas and like me planning out videos. Obviously you're not gonna be able to see that, but you know, just know that it's a thing that's there. I have a little poetry folder. Surprise, surprise, it's not like I spoiled this for you from the start. I don't really want to share. I will say I do have like a list of lines that I heard from either somewhere or things that just popped up into my mind that I like think that I could write a poem around. So, but yeah, I don't really like sharing my poetry with people who aren't used to hearing it because poetry is really personal to me. Like, my poetry book is like a diary. Like, I would really prefer if you didn't read it without my permission. That being said, I will not be sharing any poetry at this time, but if you ever catch me at another poetry slam, knock yourself out. School. Obviously, it's just like a bunch of school stuff. A lot of notes. This one is just like a presentation I had to write stuff for. Project notes. There's nothing interesting in here. Sheesh, did I like write this? Oh, I had to do an introductory PowerPoint and it had to have like my favorite things on. And for whatever reason, I couldn't think of my favorite things off the top of my head. So I had to write them down. I saved this one for last because I knew it was going to take the longest, but I have a folder of lists that I make. In these lists are various things, which we'll get into momentarily, obviously. I forget things a lot. Like, things that I should know. Is that a bird? Dang, where did I even leave off at? Yeah, like I mentioned before, I had to make that PowerPoint of stuff that I like, and for whatever reason, I couldn't think of what I liked off the top of my head. Well, it's like that for everything for me. So, things that I want to remember, I put in these categorized lists so I don't forget them. Well, it's not just that either. It's also like, just like small thoughts that I'm like, Oh, yeah, that's a good thought. I should go into that later when I have the chance. I'm not getting married anytime soon, so you don't have to tell me in the comments, family, because I know, I just know my family is gonna comment and be like, why do you? No, listen, I know that. I'm just saying, like, for when I'm older and I actually do get married. Yeah, when I do get married, there were ideas that I think would be pretty cool for a wedding. It's not like I've been wedding planning in detail because, anyway, I don't know what I'm gonna think like years from now. Like, I don't know what kind of wedding I'm gonna want then, but there are these really cool things that I heard of. This list isn't that long because I've only heard of a few things. Someone on TikTok said that they would do a Met Gala attire if I so happen to have a child, which I am afraid of childbirth, mind you, but we're not gonna talk about that right now. It doesn't even have to be me who does it. I just think it would be a super cute idea if you had like your newborn in a bouquet. I don't know if that's a new idea, but like when you're walking down the aisle, you have like the little baby and you just decorate him or her with flowers. I don't know. I just think that's a really cute idea. Sorry. Anyway, another thing I saw on TikTok. I think all of these I saw on TikTok. Well, everything except the baby bouquet thing. Ballerina flower girls I think would be really cool. I kind of want to do it myself, but I'm assuming it would be my wedding, so I can't do it. I'll put in a video if I can find it. These are things that I know about myself, because when people are like, hey, tell me something about yourself, I'm always like, I wear glasses and I'm black. Yeah, I usually blank on that sort of thing. So that being said, I created this list of things that I know for a fact about myself, but not just like dumb things like what's your favorite color and stuff. Things about my personality that most people might not even know. Like, for one, I hate getting my hair braided. Yeah. I'm very competitive. My favorite Disney movie is Zootopia. Yep, I can say that with certainty. I love scary movies. I love zombie movies, which is weird because I'm afraid of everything. I always have one sleeve rolled up. It's not intentional. It just happens all the time and I don't fix it. It's true. No, I have both sleeves rolled up right now, but whenever I'm walking around the house, it's always one of them that's rolled up. I couldn't tell you why, but top 3 favorite movies in order: Saw, all of them, Midsummer, and The Hunger Games, all 3. I can't stand loud sounds. I get overstimulated really easily. So, things like loud cars, motorcycles riding past my house, balloons popping. I mean, there are plenty more loud sounds I could list off, but anything that's just like, I don't know. I hate it. Gordon Ramsay is my favorite celebrity, and it's not up for debate. The Amber Alert noise is the most anxiety-inducing thing I've ever heard, and every time I hear it, it shakes me to my core, even after it's done playing. So, you know, every once in a while, we'll get an alert on our phones for an Amber Alert, like if it's a car or if it's a missing child, but it always plays at like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I can't go to sleep afterwards. Is it just me? Let me know if you feel the same, because I don't know, maybe it's just like the whole loud sounds thing, but my guilty pleasure is dating simulators. I listed circumstances where you're at your most vulnerable. Like, it doesn't matter how cool of a person you are or like how like buff you are, there are circumstances where you are vulnerable. Don't know why I made a list of these things, but like if somebody were to sneak up on you and kill you, I know it's kind of graphic, but like they could do it because you're at your most vulnerable point in these states. In the shower, in the dentist chair, sleeping, in the middle of tripping over something, eating cereal, things like that. The list isn't that long, but I think about it a lot. So, another short list so far. is things that my friend Madison has never heard of. The answers may shock you. Cocoa Pebbles, the song Knock You Down, the movie Lady and the Tramp, chai tea, and German chocolate cake. Bless her heart. I read a lot of poetry books, so instead of like bending the corners to every page, or well, like now I'll put sticky notes on every page that I like, but I used to put the pages in my notes. Like if I don't have my sticky notes handy, I'll write the page numbers down in my notes, so that's what those are for. I made a list of places to travel to, which aren't really places to travel to. They're just conventions that I would have to travel to get to because we don't have any good ones in Michigan. Thoughts I had in class. This list is only short because I started it in 2020 and then I stopped going to class. No more class. This is probably the last one I'm gonna get into because I think this is like one of my longest lists. And one of my oldest as well. So I actually started this list at the very beginning of 2018, and they're just random things that are on my mind. What is an egg? And I don't mean that as like, what is an egg? I mean it like, what food group does an egg fall into? Don't tell me because you're gonna make me sound dumb for asking, because I still don't know. This one I actually found out the answer to. If the cord disconnects from the Beats headphones, can you use it as an aux cord? Yes, because one time they used it for a performance we had at the school. They used mine, and they never gave it back. So, yeah. If someone tends to chickens, do you call them a chicken tender? There's no way I came up with that by myself. I couldn't have. There's no way. Can you spell the sound of a sniff? Spell it. Where do grits come from? I mean, like, I know they're grains, but like, what do you plant? What do you harvest for that? What is it called? What's the plant called that you harvest for grits? The bigger you get, the more embarrassing it is when you fall. That's true. I'm incredibly tall. And it's just gonna get worse the older I get. It's fine because I can get back up. Adults can't always get up. The younger you are when you fall, people laugh. But then the older you get, it's like more concern. Like, are you okay? People who are like 16 wouldn't call their friends and tell them that they fell because it's probably a normal occurrence. If you're like in your 50s and 60s, you'll like probably call your friend and be like, girl, guess what? I fell today. Like, cause that's like an event. I mean, God forbid you actually hurt yourself, but you know. If you knew when the purge was, and it's countrywide, why don't you just take a vacation out of the country for that day? Cause if you remember, the purge is a American holiday. It's not national. Cause they're always like, God bless America. Or whatever they say in the movie. I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen them. Some of these thoughts are like actually really good. They get kind of deep. And then some of them are just like, what was I thinking? So like one of them is, I want to be really good at storytelling. So when I get older and have a family, I can tell my kids stories. And if they're really good, then I can write them down and make them their own personal library of books that no one else has. And then right after that one is, do taller people spend more on lotion? Braces are teeth shackles. Agreed. Sorry, honey, you don't get out of those for like another 2 years. Why do they call them soft drinks? They are not soft. You can't replace whipped cream with sour cream. Yeah, babe, that kind of went without saying. I just want to sit down and watch all the Barbie movies at once. I'll save you some time. No, you don't. Alright. Well, I think that's about it for, like, in terms of things that are interesting. There's plenty more, but you're not allowed to know. Okay. Well, that being said, I'm gonna take this hoodie off because I've been sweating throughout this entire video, and I don't sweat. So, that being said, I hope you enjoyed. I ordered a microphone for my next video that comes in tomorrow, so I'll probably be recording that, if not tomorrow, the next day for sure. And yeah, if you liked the video, let me know. If you didn't, let me know. Or don't actually. If you want to see something else, if you want to see something similar, if you have any suggestions, put it in the comments. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. Bye.
Hello? Tell me what you want, tell me what you need, tell me every little thing that you see. Hold my hand.